Well, hello and welcome back to another edition of the Journal. Today, I'm up on Hot Springs Mountain, which is the highest point in San Diego County. And it snowed last week. It's about 6,500 feet or so, about where I'm at right now, maybe a little less. And we got a pretty good dousing of snow. A lot of it's melted, but there's going to be a lot more as we head further up the mountain. And there's going to be a lot more coming tonight, tomorrow, and continuing through the Christmas weekend. We're supposed to get a foot of snow up here. But the reason I came up here today was never want to get out of the house. And it's always fun to hike in the cooler conditions. But I wanted to go through some of the contents of my pack. Now this pack I've had for about a year. This is a Jaakari pack from Savotta. This is the medium-sized pack. And it's about 3,000 cubic inches, and I believe that's maybe a little more if you expand the top collar. But what I really love about this pack is the durability of it and the way it fits and the way it wears when you're hiking. This is not a lightweight day pack. This day pack is really heavy, but the price you pay for the weight you make up for in comfort, because I've been able to use this pack on day hikes. I've used it on short overnight trips, and this thing's bomb-proof. This is a 1000 denier Cordura, which is similar to what they make the Maxpedition and other military-grade or mil-spec packs with. But anyway, let me go through some of the contents. On the outside of my pack, I have a carabiner. This is a heavy-duty steel carabiner. This isn't lightweight. You can actually rappel with this one. This is a military-grade. And what I have here is a pair of elkskin gloves. I use these all the time when I'm bushwhacking or when I'm in the desert or when I'm doing fire prep or handling wood so I don't get splinters around the campfire. I also carry a cook set. This is my coffee cup. I'm going to be using that today while I make my cup of coffee. I've also got another carabiner on the side. That's usually where I hang my ball cap if I bring one. The side water bottle pockets on this pack are fairly small. You can fit a full-size Nalgene in here, but it takes some work. They're not real deep pockets, so you do have to have a cinch point down so you don't lose one along the trail. This is I found this at a thrift store. This is a cig bottle. It's a narrow cig bottle, and this is just for some extra water. This is for my tea or my coffee today. I've got this pocket right here on the side. This is what holds. This is a Maxpedition. I think it's a phone pocket, actually, but it works perfect for my Garmin GPS. It usually goes right here on the side, and I clip it down when I'm on the trail. I do have a Garmin inReach. I use this everywhere I go, and this I just clip to one of the external pockets. The other things I have on here, I have a fire steel. I always carry a fire steel with me wherever I go. This is a homemade one. This is actually a ½ inch thick and about 6 inches long. I made this one at home with attached fire steel, and this one works really well. I'm not going to do it up here because there's no fires allowed up here, but I use this all the time, and it's great for lighting alcohol stoves, or if you have any type of wood and you've prepped your fire bundle correctly, your bird's nest, this will light probably 1 or 2 strikes. I also have a Cat 5 tourniquet. Hopefully it's not for me. I can self-apply the tourniquet if I need be, but hopefully I won't need to use that. But I do have it in case of a major trauma that occurs to either me or somebody else along the trail. In this pocket, actually on the outside of the pocket, I have a little zipper pull thermometer. I use this all the time to get a reference point for how cold it is. And this pocket is an add-on pocket. This isn't one that came with the pack. I bought this one on Amazon. It was only like $5 for 2 of them or $10 for 2 of them. But it works perfect. And in this little pocket, I've got a couple of different things. I've got a little bottle of alcohol for an alcohol stove. I've actually got my little Trangia burner alcohol stove, and that's what the alcohol's for, but I didn't even actually plan on using this today. I've got titanium spork. This is a Nuco titanium spork. I've also got a Ranger setup. This is basically just a Bic lighter wrapped with duct tape and some lip balm, and they work great together as a fire starter, or put on your lips if it's dry and windy. And I also have a small little container of sunscreen. And then On the back portion of this, I have a small pair of folding reading glasses. So anyway, that takes care of this pocket. Let's go inside and see what I've got in here. I'll start with the top lid. It does have a zipper top lid. I carry quite a few things in here. I've got a couple of Right in the Rain, actually just one Right in the Rain notepad. I've got a Fisher Space Pen in there as well. This is a Anker 20,000 milliamp battery. This will work for my phone. It'll also work for my GoPro and my InReach. A little pocket of hand warmers. You never know when you're going to need those. This is the lid to my canteen, which I'll show you here in a minute. I didn't forget my pocket knife. I brought this one. This is a Marbles military jackknife. This is actually really cool. It's got, this is new actually. It was only $6, $6. It's got a can opener, cap lifter on one end, and a nice sheep's foot blade on the other. And it's phenomenally sharp and well made. And I'm going to use this today, maybe when I'm making my lunch. We'll see. What else do I have in here? I've got it's a little small container. I keep my identification in here and a couple of business cards for the podcast, for the video podcast, in case somebody wants a card so they can find it later. I do have some extra paracord, small little hank of paracord. I've also got some trail marking tape in case I get lost or have to mark my location. They also have a headlamp. This is a Nucor rechargeable, USB rechargeable headlamp. This thing is phenomenal. It's about 300 or so megapixels and 300 lumens, and this thing works great, and it weighs almost nothing. I also have emergency whistle, and this thing's pretty loud. I also have my military dog tag with an extra fire steel striker. This is my one of my original military dog tags from when I was in the Army years ago. I do have a Bic lighter, and this one has a ranger band around the edge to keep the fluid inside so it doesn't evaporate as fast. I've also got my car keys and this cool little item here. I don't know if you can see that. This is a really small, tiny USB rechargeable flashlight. And believe it or not, this little thing is 600 lumens. Anyway, that's got to do it for the top lid. Let's delve inside the main portion of the pack. The one thing that people don't really like about this pack is there's not a lot of dividers inside. It's basically one just big pocket, like a duffel bag. You just throw it in the middle and that's it. They do have a section in the back where you can put a hydration bladder, and there are hydration bladder ports on both sides. Since I'm using a canteen today, I'm not actually going to be using that. Since I said canteen, I'll show you what else I got here. This is the Keith titanium canteen, and I also have the canteen cup that goes with it. They nest perfectly together, and I have the lid for it. It holds almost 40 ounces of liquid. And what I do is when I cook my lunch, I can cook my lunch in this titanium cup. I can also set this in the fire. You can also put the titanium canteen in the fire, but I really don't want to do that when I got the cup. Another thing I brought today was a windscreen. The windscreen I brought just in case it gets windy. This is big and heavy. I wouldn't normally carry this in a backpack trip, but because it's only a day hike, this thing works great. All right, let's get into the main contents of the pack. Because it was snowy and potentially icy, I did bring my Catula micro spikes. They're in this bag right here. Hopefully I won't have to use them today. I do have an emergency space blanket. You should always have this in your kit. This is my first aid kit. It's got Band-Aids. It's got emergency dressings. It's got first aid ointment. And what else does it have? It has some moleskin in here. Has a whole bunch of different things. Has some pills. Has some Advil in there. Has something for allergies. I am allergic to something at around 6,000 feet. So every now and then I'll hit it, and my nose just explodes, and it runs and runs. And I do have some Allerest in there if I need it. This is my fire kit. I'll go over this in a second. And I guess I brought a second Anker. This is a 10,000 milliamp rechargeable battery pack. Didn't know I had that in there. My cord for my phone or my GoPro. My trail map. You always have to have a map along with your compass and your GPS. Because this was a winter trip, and you never know what can happen on a winter trip, I did bring a really lightweight Sea to Summit sleeping bag liner just for emergencies. I only bring some rope. This isn't climbing rope, but it's not paracord. It's a little thicker than that. It's not strong enough for climbing as a climbing rope, but it'd be good to lower your pack down a ledge, or maybe rig up as a hand line if you got to climb up something steep, or maybe just use it to set up your tarp. All right, let's keep going here. I do have a wind shell today. This is actually a rain shell, waterproof rain shell. Might need that going back tonight. I don't know. We'll see. Because I'm wearing a kilt, I did bring long underwear, so I have a pair of synthetic long underwear. I do have a neck gaiter that I can pull up to help out the beanie if need be. This is just a little accessory kit. It has some emergency water purification. It's got some emergency toilet paper and some tyroxine. Well, anyway, it's emergency fire starter. It's military. I forgot what they call it. Since I'm talking about fire starter, I also have some of this InstaFire. Not that I'll need it, because I won't, but just in case I do have it. I did bring some Smart Wool arm warmers to supplement my shirt and upper torso. These are really nice. I've had these. They weigh nothing. And I've had these in my pack. They always go with me everywhere I go. I also have a pair of fleece 200 weight polar fleece gloves. These are North Face gloves. These are really good down to about 35 degrees. What else do I have in here? I've still got quite a few things in there. I got a couple of bandanas. You can never not have enough bandanas. I actually have a pair of wool over socks. These aren't really socks. These have stirrup bottoms to it. And these are great for wearing with a kilt because my shoes are sized for one pair of wool socks. If I wore 2 pair of wool socks, then they wouldn't fit inside my shoes. But these were great because I can put them on over my existing wool socks, and they don't take any room inside my shoe. And they keep my legs really warm, and they're wool, which is what you need in a wet environment. I do have another pair of wool gloves. The other one's in here somewhere, probably floated to the bottom of the pack. I also have a shemagh. This is a wool shemagh. I can use this as a hood. I can use it as a neck scarf. I can use it as a ground cloth. Oh, here's the other glove. What else is in here? I think that's about it. Now, I do have another little spare hank of paracord, 550 cord. And I think that's about it. That's going to do it for the contents of my pack. But what I do have to show you is what I brought up here today to cook lunch on. And this is one thing I'm excited about. Normally this wouldn't come with me on a day hike. This is more of a car camping thing. But it's small enough and it's cool enough, so I thought I want to bring it. I'm going to use it today to help me make lunch out here along the trail to Hot Springs Mountain. That'll be coming up next. Stay tuned.